Hello and welcome back to X-Plane 11. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and this is part 2 of my first impressions and review of the Hawk T1A Advanced Trainer by JustFlight, available on the JustFlight website. Link is in the description box below for £30. This has just been released recently for X-Plane, and of course it was also available and still is available for Prepared and FS10. So in this video and the next one, we are going to be doing our first flight and startup, of course, and we'll be taking off from here, which is RAF Scampton, and going all the way over to RAF Fairford, passing by RAF Waddington and RAF Brize Norton. So make sure you stay tuned for about 20-25 minutes in this episode and 20 and 25 minutes in the next episode for that. Right, so here we are in the cockpit of the T1 Hawk, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running through the start procedure. Now, before I continue, what I'm going to say is this is not going to be a fully comprehensive procedure, or this is not going to be a fully comprehensive sort of flight procedure, should I say, of this T1 Hawk. I'm not going to be going through every single system in absolute detail, but we are going to be flying from A to B as per the actual Hawk X-Plane manual, which is about 94 pages long, I think. So we're going to be flying in accordance to that. So here we go. Let's have a look at what we have to do to start with. So we're at apron 3 at Echo Golf X-Ray Papa, which is Scampton, and as I said, we're going to be flying over to Echo Golf Victor Alpha, which is Fairford, RAF Fairford, passing Waddington, and the Waddington VOR is 117.1, Daventry VOR, which is 116.4, and Brize Norton, which is 111.9. So we need to know all of those. It should take us about half an hour once we are in the air, but of course we need to get this aircraft started to start with. So first things first, we need to make sure that the canopy is closed, which it is. As you can see, the canopy is nicely closed. Then we need to make sure that the parking brake is on. Now, I have trouble with this. Aha! That's where the parking brake is. Okay. So this must be... Yes. There we go. Off and on. Lovely. Okay, now we know where that is. It's a little bit hard to see. Maybe just if I move forward just a little bit. There we go. Now I can actually see it. I couldn't find it last time. Right, so that's on. All the avionics need to be off. So we'll go around having a look at this, making sure that they are off as far as I can tell. That's off. That's off. It's kind of difficult to see. That is in off position. That is fine. This one only has 2 options. So there's nothing I can see there. Any other avionic systems that need to be off, that's off. And I think that's about it. Everything else seems to be off. Yep, everything else seems to be off. Okay, fantastic. All right, next step is we need to make sure that this is in cutoff, which it currently is. Okay, then we need to make sure that the parking brake is... the parking brake? No, we need to make sure that the LP fuel cock lever is in the off position, which is up, which is great. That's how it needs to be. And the throttle lever is cut off, as I said. So the throttle lever is cut off. Next up, we need to make sure that the batteries are switched on. So we'll switch on batteries 1 and 2. There you go. And you can see the battery voltage rising. So, yep, that's okay. We are getting some voltage. And we need to make sure that we have sufficient fuel for the flight. We have 500 kilo. So we have 5 tons, which should be fine. I don't see it using any more than that, but just in case it's not, I am going to try and put a little bit more fuel into this. It's not 5 tons, it is 500 kilos. I'm going to put in... Oh, actually, there you go. That gives us 2 hours flight time. Oh, no, that's fine then. We'll do that. We'll discard changes. That should be enough fuel then. That's going to give us plenty of flight time. So 500 kilos of fuel. Great, so we're okay with that. We'll switch on the navigation lights. So if we look outside, should have some navigation lights on. There you go. You can just see the red light on that side and the green light on that side, just lighting up the ground as it's nice and early in the morning. Back inside we go. tap it forward. Those are green, great. And then what we need to do is we need to disable the chocks and the flags, but the flags are okay, so the flags are gone. It's just chocks. Chocks are now gone. Parking brake is still up. Back in the cockpit, we need to make sure that the VHF UHF radio is on. So we need to, let's see, we need to switch this into the TRG. There you go, TR plus G. That switches that on, and we need to swap this into the normal position. That's standby, that's normal. Okay, so in mode 4, I'm not going to explain this just yet. This is all about the squawk boxes and how it actually squawks. I'm not going to explain that today, but at some point in the future, once I get used to this aircraft for myself, I am going to explain that. Let's get rid of that control column. So we're going to rotate the TACAN mode selector to RX, as you can see right there, and we are going to switch to channel 111. Now that is going to be a frequency of 116.4 for Daventry. So they have different frequencies. This is why we use TACAN frequencies. That's in RX. That's at X. Great. That should be the Daventry one sorted for us. Now what I need to do is I need to rotate the course knob on the HSI, which I think is this one. Hold on. This one, there you go, that's the one, and I need to switch that over to 200 degrees. You can see that this is an old system because that actually moves very, very nicely, but you can see it's 3 digital displays. Right, we don't have to worry about this is the heading select, I believe. Right, we don't have to worry about that one. So there we go, that's the course from Daventry, to Daventry from RAF Waddington. Alright, so let's start with the engine now. So we're going to close the canopy, which is already done. We are going to actually switch on our anti-collision lights. There we go. So we'll make them... Nope, come on. There we go. That should be red flashing lights, both top and bottom, as you can see. There you go. Now we have our beacon lights flashing very nicely. Okay, so we've done that. Next up, we need to make sure that the engine start is moved to the on position. So there we go. That is now in the on position. Right. Then, by the way, do we push it? Oh, don't do that. Close it. I meant to... Nope. Okay, it doesn't work. I'm trying to push that lever forward to lock it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think it's fine. Alright, so we're going to go to, let's see. That's on. We're now going to move the ignition. Now, where is the ignition? Up at the front. There it is. Ignition can go to normal. As I said, the anti-collision lights are fine. This can now go all the way through. So that's into the down position, and then, you know what, I need to double check to make sure that is actually fully down. It is fully down. Great, and then we can switch our fuel pumps on. So we're going to put on the fuel pump right there, and you can hear that start. Now we're going to start the GTS, which is a gas turbine system. So we're going to go for the start relight button on the front of the throttle, which is that one. And there starts the engine. Or the engine's about to start. Okay. This sounds awesome, this does. Right. So once the GTS is showing green, so we need to look for that. That's right there. That's showing green. We're going to move engine start to start. So that is going to start our engine up. And we should start seeing the RPMs rising. There they go. Percent RPM. They are rising. Alright, now we've got rotation. We need to release this latch. And we need to move this slightly forward. There we go. That's now in idle. That has started up the aircraft. Awesome. Right, okay. So now the aircraft is fully spooled. Both of these have disappeared. That's great. Now I need to start speaking up a little bit louder. Check click AC1 and AC2. So that's that one there. And there. And there. And that's now up all the way. Great. And then we need to make sure that electrical warnings on this have gone out, which they have. Awesome. Okay, now we need to make sure that the anti-skid is on, like so. And we need to make sure that is there anything else that we need to do? No, everything is absolutely fine. Great. So I think this aircraft is almost ready to go. Right, we need to press the hydraulic reset button. There we go. Now you see hydraulic 2 goes up. Right. So now all these lights should have gone out. Great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, on the center panel, which is this one right here, we're going to make sure that that's in DG. So now we've got an altitude indicator. Oh, sorry, attitude indicator, which is there. So if you see that's off. No, it's not doing anything anymore. Okay, that's fine. It's probably because we've already got it how we have it. Alright, so now let's make sure we have all our flight controls working. I'll not listen to that, it's loud. It does work. Fantastic. Alright, back inside we go. This is going to be an interesting one to fly. Like I said, I've not actually tried it. I have flown this already in VR, thanks to Laminar Research themselves. They let me fly this aircraft in VR, one of their, at the Flight Sim convention. But I haven't actually flown this with my own home sim, so it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens. Okay, now we're going to taxi, so we're going to switch on that. I guess we can switch on some panel lights. Oh, that looks lovely. We'll dim them up a bit though. There we go. Now we have our panel lights on. So now we're going to go to runway 22. So we're getting ready to move. Just give it a little bit of power. This is a very interesting aircraft to actually use. As you can see, it works very differently. The way it turns is very different. So I need to really get used to that. But there we go. Now we're taxiing to runway 22. Alright, nice easy taxi, I hope. Like I said, I need to get used to this aircraft. This is completely new to me. Shouldn't this be in normal? Like that? That's already in normal. I don't need to test these. We're not going through the test procedures today. What's that light? I'm not too sure. Would that be the strobe lights? I'm assuming... Actually, no. It won't be the strobe lights because the anti-collision lights will go white, won't they, for strobe? Ah, clever. I think I've just clocked onto that. I think it's because of the rudder controls that I've got a sign that's also my controls for my yaw, or sorry, my nose gear. I think that the problem's being caused there. So we're going to get ourselves over to runway 22 as fast as we can. You can see I am drifting a little bit. I do need to try and work that one out. Now I'm not sure why I don't have any oxygen on this. That I'm not too sure about anyway, but we're not doing anything fancy today, so the fact that we don't have oxygen doesn't really matter. Also, I'm going to adjust the QNH to make sure that I am actually sorted out correctly. There we go. Keep going. It's a bit of a long taxi at Scampton to get to runway 22. But we'll be there in a jiffy. What I could do, just for the sake of it, The HUD's not going to work, is it? No, I guess not. Can I just sort of get rid of the HUD? How do I just get rid of the HUD? I know there's a way to do it, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what's... that's it. There we go. I don't think we need the HUD today. I'm not going to be using it for anything. So no point it being there, getting in the way for us. Again, I can't let you hear this aircraft from the outside because it's just that loud. It's actually deafening my ears. But I'm sure there will be points where I do start showing you the outside of this aircraft when we're taking off. But the idea of this video and the next one, of course, is really to get used to flying this aircraft. Right, so we're really pottering along very, very quickly now. So we're going to stop at the holding point just short of 2-2 once we get to it. The brakes are very strong on this. As you can see, incredibly strong brakes. That's something again that will cause issues when landing. But here's 2-2 right ahead of us, so we're just going to ease up to the holding point and then stop. At this point in time, we are going to lower the flaps. So the flaps are now in mid position. And we'll just stop there. Have another look outside the aircraft. Get ready for a loud noise. Alright, back inside we go. And what do we need to do now? I'm guessing, in all honesty, I'm guessing this now needs to go to white. No, not that one. This one needs to go to white. So now if we have a look outside. Yep, that's now white and that's red. Lovely. Okay, so the flaps are in mid position, as you would expect. Perfect. So we're going to be lining up with the runway. We're going to put in full power, and we're going to let's see. We're going to raise or lift the nose at around 90 knots. So you can see about there. That's when we're going to start lifting the nose. Then what do we have? We're going to try to maintain an initial climb speed of 180 knots while maintaining runway heading. As we pass through 500 feet, we're going to retract our flaps, and then we're going to make a left turn towards RAF Waddington and pass overhead, hopefully at 3,000 feet. This is going to be interesting. How are we looking on the parking brake? It is off. This is going to be very, very interesting. So we need to keep a lookout for RAF Waddington. Alright, so we need to see our speed, our heading. I think that's everything we need to see right there. Look at the aircraft. We're actually getting to fly a Hawk. Are these lights on? They are on. There we go. Whoa. It turns really, really sharp. I guess since we're not in convoy, we should probably just line up in the middle of the runway. Okay, that is pretty much straight. I'll stop that. And here we go. Wish me luck, because this is going to be very, very interesting. Right. We're going to Do that. Yep. Yep. Okay. Here goes. First takeoff in a Hawk on my own PC. Rotate. Oh, nope, rotate, there we go. Whoa, this aircraft is different. Gear up. Flaps retract. Right, what speed are we looking for? We are looking for 180 knots. There's 180. Try and climb to maintain that. Right, we've passed 1,000 anyway. We need to look for RAF Waddington. Is it over to our left? Not too sure, but I need to level off already. This is crazy. This aircraft just... it just flies. I think it was over to our left. There it is. There's RAF Waddington. So we're going to fly directly towards it. We're already at 5,000 feet. That's not what I wanted to do. But let's see what we can do now. So we head directly towards it. I mean, I'm assuming that's Waddington. Right, and now we're going to try and trim. Yep, that's definitely Waddington. Right, slow it down. Get this trimmed up for how we need this to go. Alright, so once Waddington disappears, like that, we need to turn right to the track for the Daventry VOR, which actually hasn't come alive. So this is interesting. Yeah, the Daventry VOR hasn't come alive, but we're just going to fly in this direction anyway to try and get it somewhere. Right, let's try and trim ourselves down for about what, 300 knots. Let's actually reduce our altitude somewhat. There we go. Why has this not come alive? That's a little bit worrying. That's not what I meant to do. This is just in. Just to see where we are. We're definitely headed towards Daventry. As a matter of fact, we're almost bang on course. So I know I'm not doing that wrong. Right, actually I want to level off around there. That's about the altitude I want. There we go. Oh, this aircraft is very, very finicky. You have to be really, really careful with this aircraft. Just keep flying towards it. But it's a really nice aircraft to fly. Okay, so we're just going to continue flying towards Daventry. And then I guess what we're going to do is we'll sort a few things out. But for now, I'm going to hand fly this aircraft, and I'm going to go down and do a little bit of low level flying. There we go. Get a bit of a feel for this aircraft. Nice movements on it. Alright, let's see what happens if you do a rapid ascent. That wasn't too bad. Up to 3,000 feet within a few seconds. That wasn't too bad at all. And what about a rapid descent? Nose down. Oh, okay. Well, down to 1,000 feet. That feels really quite good. No, I didn't mean to do that. I've done it again. I mean, we're still headed bang on towards Daventry, so that's great. And I think at this point I'm going to end this video. Should we do a quick aileron roll, just to see how this aircraft feels on an aileron roll? Here we go. Smooth. That's how it feels. This is where I'm going to end it. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Hopefully this loud. That looks beautiful, that does. That really, really does look beautiful. Let's go back inside. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos, and make sure you stay tuned for the next part. Also, you can support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated, would really help me out. So you can follow me on, you can support me on that. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ecgadget, and on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. This is a very interesting aircraft to fly. I think I've managed to get myself into a nice stable condition, but thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in X-Plane 11.